We got 8 disturbing internet mysteries by Book of Valor. So let's get right into it.
Carrick, the unknown YouTube.
Okay.
Please do not engage with the channel I'm about to discuss, nor seek them out in their social media pages.
We will
Your
not.
discretion is advised.
Yeah.
It's not unlike cockroaches are persistent. They are always shifting, adapting to new environments, and hiding.
The fact that happened is still insane.
That it was DLC and it's aged terribly.
Terrible.
Within the very depths of the shadows. Within the past few years, we have seen a boom of worrying content created on YouTube.
What was that?
We have seen a boom of worrying content created.
Oh, that's insane.
Pinky Sprunk love story. Oh, what?
On YouTube and advertised towards children in specific. In 2016, we had the boom of the Elsa Gates controversy surrounding videos on YouTube and YouTube Kids that appeared to be child-friendly but contained inappropriate content. These videos often featured popular characters like Elsa from Disney's Frozen and graphic, violent, or suggestive scenes. Parents were shocked and concerned about.
It's not funny, but it's hilariously evil.
Yeah,
it's one of those like, why would you? What are we doing?
Impact this content could have on their children, and as a result, YouTube took steps to address the issue by removing inappropriate videos and implementing stricter content moderation policies.
Yeah.
Some channels and some people still seem to slip through the cracks, and this is precisely what today's segment relates to. Meet Carrick, a modestly sized channel with just under 200 subscribers. Before their channel was seemingly terminated, the channel was originally created in January 2023, and the creator is supposedly located in the region of El Salvador. Carrick's persona is a blue version of the Reddit logo and appears without the antenna. I assume the mascot of the channel is whatever this Carrick name is supposed to represent. On the surface, Carrick's channel was nothing more than flash animation style videos with the blue character in suggestive and fetishized positions, mainly to do with armpits, odors, and farting. The blue guy is also depicted in almost every scenario with pubic hair and armpit hair, the latter of which is known to be a feature centered around those who find the armpits attractive. Anyways, this content on its own is not the issue. It wasn't until Carrick's 9th upload where things begin to take a turn towards pure depravity. In a video titled Carrick, we see a fox character and the channel's mascots with images of armpits in the background with the channel's name written on it, and this is where the darker side of the channel becomes more apparent. The following video is titled Armpits Turn Me On, with a 23-second compilation slideshow of armpits, again with the channel name written on them. The title itself, combined with the channel description, Carrick loves hairy, stinky armpits, is a stark admission that the content creator finds this arousing and is somewhat expressing this through their animations. I understand a lot of you might be confused and not see this as an issue, and that wouldn't be so far off if the people participate.
No, it's weird, but it can like
what did he?
I feel like there's something missing.
Were consenting adults. However, there is absolutely no way that these are the people Carrick is attempting to target or contact. In one of Carrick's last uploads before the channel was terminated/deleted, Carrick makes a plea for people to send them more photos of armpits, stating that in exchange for this, he will pay them with $15 worth of Roblox.
Oh no! Oh, he okay.
He wanted them.
Yeah, he's one of them. Yeah.
Robux being the currency used in a game that is targeted towards children and mainly used by children. If this isn't enough to convince you that this channel is a direct threat towards kids, the quote-unquote advert states that age and color of marker does not matter. At the end of this video, Carrick brags that he possesses 133 photos of armpits. I think it's safe to assume that some of these photographs are of children as well. There was also 2 stomach-churning videos on the channel of a person appearing to pleasure themselves, standing over a photo of the blue Reddit-like character. I seriously hope these videos weren't real. In one of Carrick's last and most puzzling uploads, the video shows a photo of a man wearing a dinosaur mask, and the description reads, "Images of this person abusing children were found on the internet. His whereabouts are unknown." The individual is described to be a white male in his late 30s or early 40s with brown eyes. He has a large mole in the middle of his left cheek. The The post then follows with a link to Carrick's Instagram account and states, "Don't contact the Crimes Against Children investigator or your local FBI office or the nearest American embassy or consulate." Now, what I think was going on here is that this post seems to be making a mockery of the very real ECAP program, launched by the FBI in 2004. This is a very real and proactive step taken by the government to allow the public to help them identify unknown suspects and individuals involved with the essay of children and the production of CP. The website uploads snapshots of identifying features that may help identify these abusers and bring them to justice for their crimes against children. Now, in the video uploaded by Carrick, he states that this is John Doe 77, which I'll add, there is no mention of this individual on the official ECAP government site. It seems that the purpose of this video was for Carrick to outwardly mock the efforts of the FBI, or they are self-reporting as some sick fantasy of their own. Or
Well, we're glad this guy didn't blow up.
Facts.
I don't know how he got 200 subs.
I don't even know how you hurt this, bro. Y'all gotta be real niche to hear about this stuff.
Yeah,
bro.
they deep in it. Somebody in the comments said they glad someone speaking about the Carrick guy. He tried to coerce someone I was close to into sending him photos for Robux. It was genuinely sick.
Yo, what?
Okay.
or
Jesus
at
Christ.
the very least, someone else that they know. The Instagram associated with this photo is nothing unusual for what we've seen so far, apart from the bio. If you have a dino mask, DM me for $60 Robux. Now, this makes sense as to why every sexually suggestive video on the channel contains someone wearing a dinosaur mask. Even some of the shorts that Carrick has uploaded show very young looking individuals wearing dinosaur masks, some of which are in different styles, proving that at the very least, Carrick is receiving photographs or videos from different / numerous people, which is very, very worrying.
Gotta be young, bro.
Considering he stated openly on his YouTube channel that there was no age limit to their perversions. I took a quick look at who Carrick was following, and it's not surprising. Their follow list comprises almost exclusively of furry creators with a strong emphasis on creating fetish content. Carrick's traces on the internet are certainly limited up to this point, especially since most of the info.
That's sick, bro. The fact that anybody like this can have influence is scary.
It's scary, bro. The fact, I love how connected the world is, but I'm also scared at how connected the world is.
Because, imagine if he was bigger. Because he's getting hundreds of photos with barely anybody knowing.
Yeah, with only 200 subs, bro. It's sick.
200 subs and what he had? 700 freaking Instagram followers?
Oh my God, bro.
Bro.
Have is limited to what the Wayback Machine has archived. The YouTube channel and its content is where the vast majority of this information comes from. However, if you give the name a quick search on Google, we now see a deleted Reddit account complaining about being shadow banned, and to search up the name Carrick on the Internet Archive, which I have done, and couldn't find anything specific apart from the deleted channel. But the other thing that pops up associated with this username is another deleted Twitter account with a deeply disturbing headings, all of which have thankfully now been taken down. Unfortunately, this is where this rabbit hole ends for the time.
Ain't no way I just saw it.
Yep.
These events are somewhat stagnant ever since the channel was either removed or terminated by YouTube. Recently, it seems Carrick, or someone pretending to be them, has attempted to launch a second YouTube channel, this time so far without any of the disturbing and disgusting content. The channel now has a X/Twitter account linked @/_Carrick_ with their pinned post hinting to a potential return to social media platforms.
It's gotta be him. Cause who
would act like that?
Who else?
The rest of their tweets consist of NSFW cartoon content, and their new Instagram account @/_Carrick is seemingly also new, with a story recently posted stating that their name had been falsely slandered. Currently, that's where the story ends. If you search up Carrick on YouTube, a strange account seems to be linked with only one upload. This directly relates to the Dino Masked people, whom Carrick constantly showcased on his original channel. The video alleges it is a snippet from a dark web video. However, this might just be some sort of edgelord trying to jump in on this bizarre bandwagon. As stated at the beginning of this segment, I would urge you to not contact this user in any way, shape, or form.
Stay away from that side of the internet.
Do something, use that effort in
end up
reporting
over
it to
there.
the appropriate authorities / channels. So should anything illegal,
telling you in the eye, you gonna search this crap up. Next thing you know, TikTok is showing you some cringe stuff like this, bro.
Some stuff you don't want to see.
The minute I finished Invincible season 3, the minute scrolling TikTok, 95% of the post, if it wasn't a sponsorship, it was a freaking Invincible sponsor, Invincible TikTok shop, I'm like, golly, yeah, you don't want to go over there, bro.
This story, and like many others, is a haunting reminder to always keep a close eye on what your kids are doing on the web. If you don't have kids, keep an eye on what your siblings, nieces, nephews, or any younger person in your life is doing on their mobile devices.
Facts.
Because you never know when the next Carrick might show up. Cairo Searcher. TikTok, an app with a reported user base of 1 billion people, all spread out over the globe, provides a unique platform to connect people with stories they may never have heard of before. Okay. So imagine scrolling as usual, and this disturbing video appears on your FYP.
So I was married to a serial killer for 7.5 years. Okay. He tried to kill me many times. He tried to kill my sister many times. Then he got caught with 3 bodies in his apartment in a torture chamber, and he's very known in Egypt. And
okay, wait a minute, time out. Okay, you was married for 7. I can understand being married for 7 years and then finding that out and then divorcing. But you said he tried to do this several times, meaning like, you stayed.
Or maybe she ain't know those were attempts.
But he tried to do you several times and your family several times?
We about to find out. Because it could have been anything.
In the Arab world. Finally, when he got caught this May, they locked him up.
This May?
He's going to get...
When boredom struck on TikTok was married to Kareem Salim in 2014. They lived in Cairo with their son Zain Salim until their separation in 2020. Kareem was an English teacher at El Fayyer's British International College in Port Said, and a former TikToker who amassed a following of 600,000, teaching people common English phrases and slang.
Got to.
Gotta. I gotta go.
Out of.
I'm out of time.
So he was just out there publicly.
Not as a
work,
like
obviously.
A professional. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well today. Unfortunately, I won't be coming in.
You would never like I see why the 70s and 80s and the 50s was wild.
This is a serial.
They was like, oh, I would never. What was it, Ted and some of them be a little weird, so you can tell they a little off. But like he seemed a little normal.
Into work today.
Exquisite.
Well, it's because he's teaching, so obviously he don't seem.
And this one.
Nah, this is chilling.
Ecstatic.
Stop looking at me.
Ecstatic.
It means very happy. And the last one. Excruciating.
Excruciating.
Meaning very painful.
Kareem was convicted in August 2024 for torturing and killing 3 women between November 2023 and May 2024.
Okay.
And her video, Yakut, recounts enduring years of abuse from Kareem. She decided to leave him in 2020 due to the escalating domestic violence, although Egyptian law at the time did not criminalize such acts, preventing her from filing charges. She lived with her then son, 5 years old at the time, Zain, but within a year, she alleges Kareem began threatening her and her family, stating that he would kill them if he didn't get his way. After a supposed and what was supposed to be temporary meeting between father and son in 2020, Zain, their son, was not returned to Labna, and she has not seen her son since Kareem was charged with the murder of 3 women. She claimed Kareem waited outside her residence with a knife for 4 days, leading her to flee the UK in disguise as the reason she did not take her son with her in the first place. In May 2024, Yakut learned of Kareem's arrest for the murder of 3 women from Egyptian investigators. Initially, she thought it might be a ruse to lure her back to Egypt. However, media coverage eventually confirmed his horrific crimes, which involved torturing, killing, and using corpses.
Okay. Where's the child?
Okay, I'm sorry, but I get that he's handcuffed to 2 different people, but I'm not handcuffing myself to a criminal. That one, I just wouldn't, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
People capable of anything. Like, he could literally kick my shit in, hit the elbow the other there or something. Like I just don't trust. I wouldn't want to parade this nigga around
of his
court
victims.
like
He
this.
also recorded these acts with hidden cameras located throughout his apartment.
Whoa.
The events all taking place in a soundproof room he had purposely built. Even with Kareem behind bars and with him facing the death penalty, Yakut's primary concern is now locating her son, Zayn, who was reportedly handed over to Kareem's mother after his arrest. Yakut has not received any official assistance in finding her son, who was originally born in Michigan, and the American embassy in Egypt has not yet proposed to inquiries about the matter. Now currently living in the UK, Yakut continues her tireless search for Zayn. She does not know exactly where him and her former mother-in-law are located, but as far as she is concerned, she simply wants the safe return of her kidnapped child. Please spread the word on Yakut's case, as there have been very little coverage of these bizarre events so far on any Western media outlets. This woman was married to a serial killer for 7 years, whose final act of revenge from behind bars is withholding her child from her. Justice must be served.
No, that's...
The
I wasn't expecting these kind of mysteries, but Jesus Christ.
Nice.
They are disturbing.
Todd Kohlhepp was involved in crime from a young age. His early life was marked by behavioral issues, and at 15 he was convicted of kidnapping and a girl at gunpoint, for which he was sentenced to 15 years in prison. After his release in 2001, he moved to South Carolina and became a successful real estate agent, even earning 2 degrees and learning to fly planes.
Oh, imagine your realtor is a like, what
and not just like a real life,
like for real.
In a bizarre turn of events, Kohlhepp's criminal history escalated to murder. Kohlhepp was arrested on November 3rd, 2016, after a woman, Kayla Brown, was found chained inside a storage container on his property in Woodruff, South Carolina. Her boyfriend, Charles Carver, was found in a shallow grave on the same property. Kohlhepp confessed to this double homicide. Furthermore, he admitted to a quadruple murder from 2003.
So he never changed. He never changed.
What?
He got
better as an actor. He became a better actor.
Like a real good job, profession. Cause people be trusting realtors blindly, even though I realized very quickly while I was doing video production that realtors ain't nothing but people trying to work for themselves essentially. Like, yeah, you got to get the license, but like 50-60% of the realtors don't even be knowing what they talking about.
Oh my God.
So they not, but we trust them so much. Oh, he had a whole rules going.
What's that? That's 5, 3. Was it quadruple or triple? It was an attempted double.
He admitted to a quadruple murder from 2000.
That's 5. Quadruple. That's 5, and it was about to be 6. Oh.
2003 at a Superbike Motorsports shop in Chesney, South Carolina, where he killed Scott Ponder, his mother Beverly, the store manager Brian Lucas, and mechanic Chris Sherbert after an altercation over a returned motorcycle. What made Kohlhepp's case particularly eerie was his telling Amazon reviews. Under the username Me, he left reviews for various products, some of which were potentially linked to his criminal activities. Notable reviews included one for a folding shovel where he wrote, "Keep in car for when you have to hide the bodies and you left a full-size shovel at home," and another for a knife stating, "Haven't stabbed anyone yet, but I am keeping the dream alive, and when I do, it will be with a quality tool like this."
No, and he probably looked like a troll,
bro.
the whole time.
Serious.
No, this is crazy.
Bro, like the fact people like this actually exist is nuts.
This is 2014.
Yes, bro. This ain't. You know what I'm saying? Back in yonder.
That's what I'm saying. This is.
Oh no.
These reviews were discovered after his arrest, with the accounts linked to his name, providing an almost surreal insight into his mindset. Authorities that noted these.
Wait.
Works excellent getting the neighbor to stand still while you chase him. Bro.
An almost surreal insight into his mindset. Authorities that noted these reviews.
The lock. That's the lock from the. Solid locks have 5 on a shipping container where they found the girl. Won't stop them, but sure will slow them down to the too old to care.
He's sick.
He's sick.
To the physical evidence and confessions. They were used to paint a psychological profile of Kohlhepp, showing his confidence in evading capture and his dark humor.
No, he's real
Kohlhepp
sick.
was brazenly leaving a trail of confessions for the world to see, and most users on Amazon were probably none the wiser. They probably assumed this was all a sick joke.
And look at that. That's about one of the real estate agents. Trying to find a reason. Is that one of my agents for being lazy? Office motivational
Amazon
tools.
were probably none the wiser. They probably assumed this was all a sick joke.
Yeah.
Kohlhepp was eventually charged with 7 counts of kidnapping and criminal sexual. He pleaded guilty, leading to a life sentence without the possibility of parole. His case drew significant media attention because of the natures of his crimes and the unusual digital footprint he left behind. Kohlhepp had certainly left a trail, which not only offered a glimpse into his psyche, but also highlighted how killers might inadvertently leave subtle hints and clues behind through their subconscious. However, it's crucial to understand that while these reviews were disturbing, they did not directly lead to his arrest. Rather, they were a post-arrest revelation that added a layer of notoriety to his crimes. Todd Kohlhepp's case is a prime example of the dual lives some individuals lead. The mundane nature of everyday activities like online shopping intertwined with
the internet might have been the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like it's a plus and a minus, bro.
Well, I don't think it was a minus in this case. I think he's just
it definitely was a plus. The reason why I'm saying it's a minus, it's like I think there's too many sickos out there. But it's so many people joking, we can no longer see them.
Yeah, it's especially now. Everything's a joke now.
Yeah, dude.
Everything's a joke. Dude. Imagine the amount of memes we've probably seen. That's serious.
Yeah, that's based in something serious.
Like, even if it's not like criminal. Yeah. Like imagine the amount of memes where it's like a meme like when the homie do this and you look at the homie's got. Imagine the amount of like just
that's real. Yeah.
From such jokes to murder.
Man,
it's crazy. From domestic stuff to it's
like granted we all for dark humor, but it's like. When it ain't humor no more, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Heinous criminal acts and borderline bragging about criminality should all be a reminder for us to stay vigilant in online spaces and to always second guess what first might appear to be edgy humor.
At best, at least it doesn't seem like she was in there for a super long. She was in there for a while. Yeah. Long enough for it to suck. A day, an hour sucks. But it looked like she was still healthy and clean. And
she wasn't left her.
Susan Powell, Will and Testament video. The Susan and Josh Powell case is one of the most notorious and heartbreaking true crime stories from the earlier half of the 2000s, centered around the disappearance of Susan Powell and the subsequent tragic events involving her husband, Joshua Powell, and their 2 sons, Charlie and Brandon. Susan Powell was last seen on December 6, 2009 in West Valley City, Utah. Her husband, Josh Powell, claimed that the family had gone camping that night despite it being in the middle of winter. Josh returned home the next day with their sons, but without Susan. Due to the suspicious nature of this impromptu camping trip, Josh quickly became the prime suspect in Susan's disappearance. There was no evidence of her leaving willingly. Her personal items were left behind, and police found blood in the house, later confirmed to be Susan's. Despite this, Josh was never charged due to insufficient evidence for an arrest. Susan and Josh's marriage was known to be rocky, with Susan documenting her fears about Josh in a recorded video.
This is me, July 29th, 2008, covering all my bases, making sure that if something happens to me or my family or all of us, that our assets are documented. Hope everything works out and we're all happy and live happily ever after as much as that's possible.
The fact she recorded this is crazy.
Handwritten will, where she suggested that if anything happened to her, it might not be accidental. Josh's father, Stephen Powell, was also implicated due to his inappropriate behavior towards Susan. Stephen
Both of them?
Bro, what is going on with the world?
What is happening?
reportedly recorded Susan without her knowledge and obsessed over her constantly. He documented this behavior by recording his love confessions on camera, spouting delusions that he knew she felt the same way. Stephen Powell took this behavior a step further, even collecting her sanitary products. Stephen Powell was eventually arrested and charged for similar behaviors towards neighborhood girls. After Stephen's arrest,
you could tell something is wrong with him because look how happy he is going in court.
Yeah,
similar behaviors towards
he doesn't
neighborhood
even
girls.
see nothing wrong.
After Stephen's arrest, custody of Charlie and Braden,
it's like he know he's wrong, but he don't care.
Susan's sons were awarded to Susan's parents, Chuck and Judy Cox. However, Josh was allowed supervised visits on February 5th, 2012. During one such visit, Josh locked out the social worker, prompting her to make this horrifying call.
CSHS and CPS has been involved.
He's crazy. Yeah,
and
he
this
did
is
this.
the craziest thing. He looked right at me and closed the door.
Michael.
Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just waiting to know where you are.
Okay.
No way he burnt that house down. No way. Michael, no
It's 8119 189th Street, Northeast, Puyallup, 98375. And I'd like to pull out of the driveway because I smell gasoline and he won't let me in.
You want to pull out of the driveway because you smell gasoline, but he won't let you...
He won't let me in.
He won't let you out of the driveway?
He won't let me in the house.
Whose house
He's
is
got the
it?
kids in the house and he won't let me in. It's a supervised visit.
I understand. Whose house is it?
Josh Powell.
Okay, so you don't live there, right?
No, I don't. No, I'm contracted.
It turns out that Josh had attacked his two sons with a hatchet, then set the house on fire.
Definitely. Because, okay, first of all,
he dead now.
Yeah.
He never goes.
First of all, if he was innocent, he wouldn't have pulled this bull crap. He definitely did the mom, and that's crazy, bro. Little too.
Within, including himself. Josh's brother, Michael Powell, who had been suspected of helping Josh dispose of Susan's body, died by suicide in February 2013. Susan's body has never been found, and her disappearance officially remains unsolved, though she's widely believed to have been murdered by Josh, due to not only the strange camping incident, but also Josh Powell's eventual self-inflicted end. The Cox family pursued legal action against the Washington State Department of Social and Health Services for negligence. Claiming insufficient measures were taken to protect Charlie and Braden during the supervised visits. They won a multi-million-dollar settlement. Efforts to find Susan's remains have continued, with explorations of mine shafts in Utah, where Josh claimed to have gone camping, but no conclusive evidence of her remains has been found to date, and it has been over a decade since Susan went missing. But perhaps one day the family can be put to rest with an answer on what exactly happened to their daughter. YouTuber records break-in. Benjamin Bennett is an American YouTuber, performance artist, and musician known primarily for his YouTube series Sitting and Smiling and Walking and Talking. In Sitting and Smiling, Bennett performs endurance art by sitting in front of a camera and smiling for 4 hours straight, which he live streams and then uploads. This series began on July 28th, 2014, and he garnered over 380,000 subscribers and millions of views. Bennett describes his work as lacking a clear purpose, emphasizing the act itself over traditional artistic intent. After reaching 300 views in this series, he introduced Walking and Talking, where he walks around for 4 hours, speaking on various philosophical and personal topics. The most notable incident in Bennett's Sitting and Smiling series occurred during his 5th video. live streamed on November 24th, 2014. Around 2 hours and 36 minutes into the video, an intruder entered Bennett's house while Bennett was sitting and smiling. As per his usual performance, the intruder opened the door to the room where Bennett was filming, said hello, but then left shortly after. Presumably unnerved by the situation, Bennett did not react, maintaining his pose and expression throughout the encounter.
Whoa, I know he was scared. Whoa.
Hello?
Nah, he was terrified. You can see it in him.
Right.
Those who frequent dark topics usually explored in videos such as these will be very familiar with the dark web, a part of the internet accessible through the use of specialized browsers such as Tor. Whilst some of you may be aware of some notorious sites on the dark web such as the Silk Road, have you ever heard of Pink Myth? Now, if you search up Pink Myth on Google, the results are rather small, and the topic hasn't really been discussed in length. However, there are a few media outlets who expose the truth of this hidden and very dangerous website. The Pink Myth website was a notorious dark website active during the early 2010s, particularly from around 2012 to 2014.
Okay, is it just me, or is it like obviously the FBI and all that, they know about the dark web. They know how to access the dark web. They might be doing all of this in secret that I'm about to say. But I feel like it should be a whole bunch of like raiding and arresting and that. I mean, they could just be doing it. We don't know because it's not there.
Also, it's like I think it's a lot more precautions being done on the dark web. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never went. I don't want to go
because I always wonder how it was done. And then I found out it's through a special browser. That's it. Like, I feel like this is not a way to like not get caught.
Yeah.
Especially with them being all undercover all the time.
And you gotta remember, like, we have like IP hiders. We can hide our IP and shit like that. We got proxies. We got different things we could do. With them, I feel like it's that plus.
They gotta have something.
Yeah,
more.
It's not. They like we kind of freely go through the internet. It's not the same for them. Yeah, they can't.
It's gotta
Boiled down to its very basic premise, Pink Myth was essentially an adult video site where individuals could upload explicit photos of others, often ex-partners, without their consent. However, unlike typical sites of the time, such as Is Anyone Up?, Pink Myth seemed to take this a step further, and a step which would put people's lives at risk. Alongside these images, personal details like names, addresses, and contact information were sometimes posted, even some going as far to include links to social media pages associated with whoever was shown in the photo. Pink Myth was described as a platform for heartbroken exes to exact revenge by publicly sharing intimate images. The site was known for encouraging victims to write about how their images were obtained.
Bro, if you
walk away.
Get heartbroken, right? Heartbreak is normal. But if you're heartbroken enough to want revenge on the person, you're not right in the head.
You're not, bro.
You're not right in the head. That's it. Some things, especially if it's just regular breakup stuff like, they cheated, they just broke up with me unexpectedly, if it's just like
if you want revenge, better yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try to hurt them. Don't like, come on, bro.
And if they hurt you, call the cops.
Yeah.
Often leading to further humiliation and adding fuel to the fire of unhinged people who might take it a step further and seek these people out. The website faced significant legal challenges, though for a while seemed to evade legal action due to a loophole, Section 203 of the Communications Act, which leaves the website liability-free from the postings of third-party users, regardless of what the content was. But the immunity wouldn't last forever, and Pink Myth became part of the targets during the international law enforcement operation Animus in 2014, which led to the seizure of numerous dark websites. This thankfully included Pink Myth. After its initial takedown, there were attempts to bring back or mirror the site, but these efforts were also met with resistance and further legal actions. And as for now, the internet remains clear of Pink Myth. Couple drowns on camera. This unsuspecting clip was uploaded to YouTube in 2013. The grainy footage shows a newlywed couple having fun in a large body of water, allegedly in a dam. Little did the couple know they would unwillingly be the directors of their own horror movie. In 2013, the 22-year-old man named Haithman Mohammadin, featured in the video, took his newlywed wife to a pond in the Beit Bas area south of Sana'a, Yemen, to celebrate their marriage. They set up a camera to film themselves in the water, but neither of them knew how to swim. The video, which was...
I was just going to say, I'm not getting in no body of water, or... One, more than likely, I'm not getting in the body of water. But if it's anything less than thigh high, I'll stand in it. And once I feel like a slope or somebody say there's a drop down right there, no, I'm not going under. No, I'm not going underwater in no body of water.
Ever.
None.
Ever.
I'm not doing it.
Was later found by a passerby, captures the tragic moments the couple drowned. Around the 3-minute and 28-second mark of the video, the husband slips into deeper water where there was likely an underwater ledge or drop-off. In an attempt to save himself, and as most panicked people do, he instinctively grabbed onto his wife, leading to both drowning. What is more tragic is that, to add to numerous points throughout the video, we see his wife almost make it to the land, only to be dragged down to her eventual end by the man she loved. The lake itself was known for previous drowning incidents, suggesting hazardous conditions like sudden depth changes or strong currents. Though specifics from the video indicate the couple was initially in shallow water before moving into deeper areas, which was in no way aided by the fact neither of them could swim. The wife also appears to be wearing a burqa, which could have become heavy when soaked, potentially contributing to their inability to stay afloat.
That's sad.
I don't try. People like we'll be at the beach. Come out. No, because I'm scared of the drop off.
Yeah, I'm
like
good.
Your mind tells you, oh, it's just gonna go gradually down. No,
that mug
it will. Most of it'll go like this. Then it'll go, and it'll go, and then sometimes it'll go, like man, no.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I'm sorry that happened, bro.